Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today I want to share with you my love and adoration of Conan. In this instance on the Xbox 360, but actually to be honest in general, just how much I love the mythology of Conan the Barbarian, Hyboria, that whole world created by Robert E. Howard. Before we dive into the game though, take a look at this. Please press the start button. It's not often you get a game asking you to please press the start button, especially one so gleefully violent as this one. Let's start a new game, shall we? Let's go for medium difficulty, and off we go. I have always loved the Conan mythology. I was first introduced to it in movie form, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous role in the first Conan movie. I suppose having watched it and also Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and also I suppose Red Sonja, although that doesn't necessarily count, I was curious about the mythology behind it, you know. So I started to read more about Robert E. Howard and his writings, and I've got the collected works, the Conan Barbarian stories, on my shelf. And while at times it frustrates me because of the way it plays with history, being an archaeologist, I'm a bit of a geek in that sense. I also really admire actually the joyful approach that Robert E. Howard took to writing about the past. It was bombastically adventurous. Growing up in Texas in the early 1900s, he would wrestle with his friends. He would create sort of essentially RPG scenarios, LARPing scenarios, and go through them. And he revelled in it. He was born and died in Texas and lived a relatively short life, but that didn't stop him wanting to go on these adventures of the mind, thinking about Vikings and Atlanteans and the possibilities of histories untold. And that's something which comes through really well, especially in the first Conan movie. I think it also comes through actually quite well in the Conan the Barbarian remake, which starring Jason Momoa. It's a bit of a shame that they didn't make a follow-up to that. I actually quite liked it. I didn't think I would. When I saw the trailer, I thought this was going to be rubbish. They're dumbing it down for a 15 audience, but it's actually quite good. When it comes to this game, though, I like the approach that they've taken. They haven't tried to make the barbarian look like Arnie. They've gone much more with this sort of the artwork which you see in the original Pulp Fiction books and stories. Pulp Fiction, because of incidentally, it's the name of the genre because the quality of the paper that it was printed on was so rubbish. It was just pulp, basically. Pulp paper. Cheap thrills and lusty adventures. But so they've gone with the style from the original comics, but also actually I like the way that they've mingled in some of, for example, when you kill these guys, these ghosts, the sort of the way that the spirits kind of drift off is reminiscent of moments in the original Conan the Barbarian movie. So that they're sort of reveling in various source material to create Conan's world. You notice how as you run around you can actually pick up extra weapons, or well, you can't, not extra, but you can choose your weapon setup. So at the moment I've got a sword and a shield, which I quite like. You can go double sword. You can also go for a double-handed sword. There you go, nice double-handed sword for you there, which is, as always, a bit slow. So I'm going to go with sword and shield again, and off we go. So I had this game, bought this game a while ago, and ended up getting rid of it, sadly. I don't quite know why I got rid of it, because I do enjoy it. Basically, I was after a current gen, when I bought it, a current gen version of like Golden Axe or something, and it kind of delivers on that. There are some glorious cheesy lines from Conan, things like back to hell, one less dog on the streets, this kind of thing. But also as well, I think possibly the reason why I got a bit fed up with it was that sometimes the combos can feel a little bit clunky. But on this playthrough, I've been playing this for the past couple of days, I've realised that actually there's lots of room for I don't know, being tactical about your combos. So the gameplay is actually deeper than you might think in this game. Essentially, you learn by doing a little sort of Skyrim-ish, I guess. better moves, better ways of taking down enemies.
Kron, the statues live.
Now, as you've hopefully heard there, there's a bit of a downside that the voice actor is American for Conan. But that said, though, I'm sure that Robert E. Howard, when he was writing the stories, didn't think about Conan necessarily having a particularly whatever it might be, authentic accent. So in some ways, it's kind of cool. It's kind of, I can let it go, because this is American mythology, and that's something that's really funky, actually. We have Tolkien in Britain creating Lord of the Rings. We have Arthur and Knights of the Round Table having come from France and to a certain extent Britain as well. We have the stories of the Viking sagas and so on and so forth, and then we have this mythology from the US. So yeah, it's forgivable. I'm not gonna be too nitpicky, and that's basically what it boils down to. I've just got to get over myself. This isn't meant to be history, and that's what's so fun about it. Speaking of which, actually, apparently there's a new Conan movie in the works. It always frustrated me that they never really delivered on the promise of the first Conan film, with Arnie sort of getting to see him become this sort of great king, which is promised. I think the line is that tale will also be told or something, and it never was told. But hopefully, maybe, especially as an older man, we'll get to see him as an older barbarian. A guy who perhaps has gone through being a ruler, being a wise king, and who knows where he's at now. So that could be quite cool. I love how you drink wine to get health. Drink the wine.
You, uglier than the rest. Will you come to life as well?
Good question.
To the depths of hell with you.
There we go. So yeah, that said, though, I don't know. Is he too old? Depends what sort of barbarian he is. If he's become a king, then maybe that makes sense. He can't. I don't think he could be the same barbarian that he is in the first movie. Definitely not. But if Harrison Ford can keep on being Indy, nothing to stop him. Let's skip the continue. Continue without saving. Yes. So here we go. There's a load screen with a beautiful watercolor painting on it, and to be honest, I'd love to see if there's an art book available for this game. There must be somewhere, hopefully, some art materials, because even though the graphics are a little bit muddy,
a haven for pirates and thieves, and all manner of rogues. The barbarian was right at home.
Even the graphics are a little bit muddy, and in fact they were acknowledged as being a little bit muddy back in, I think, 2007 when the game was released. I think that the art style and like I say, this sort of painting-like quality that they're giving it is well worth researching a little bit. So I'd love to get the art book if there is one. We'll get some, research it a little bit more, I guess is what I'm saying. As you can see, you get extra malarkey, I think stamina, that is possibly the red, for killing enemies, and you also get green runes, which improves your health. And this is really how the game progresses. It's not a complicated game. It is a hack and slash. Scurvy pirates, eh? But I love it because this is exactly what I'm after when I'm in this sort of mood. Okay. Now let's see if we can do a special block or a special. There you go. Sorry. Let's see if we can do that in a bit slightly better view. Okay. And come on, someone attack me! Stop trying to hit me and hit me! There we go. And yeah. So it's wonderfully violent. There's also lots of, I suppose, wenching going on. Oh, there you go. I've mastered a new skill. Excellent. Wenching going on. So you rescue lots of
Corsair vermin swarm this island.
Half-naked ladies. So let's see if we can find a half-naked lady, shall we? Yeah, this isn't really a game for
One less dog in the streets.
for people who are overly concerned with the representation of women in computer games, I have to say. Then again, I don't think you can be overly concerned about it. But I mean, if you think about, the stuff that you hear with regards to, what was it? Is it Overwatch recently? Character there and the sexualized or not nature. The discussion there going on. Yeah, if you're that sort of person, don't play this game, because I think we're about to see a half-naked lady. So actually, yeah, I haven't got that much further than this. Actually, I've got a couple of levels in, but where I'm up to, we're still on the island. Oh, there we go.
My clothes! Where are my clothes?
Where are my clothes? Indeed. And did she have to stand up like that? I don't. Yep. So yes, yeah, it's dripping with Conanisms. But then again, if you look at the artwork, I mean, the covers for all these stories, all these Pulp Fiction stories, essentially had this sort of harem vision of women in the past, and workers, and people who basically didn't have a lot of money but wanted to be entertained, who would pick up this Pulp Fiction and revel in it. So it is the style. It's not just gratuitous violence and sex. It is basically the whole point of Conan, to a certain extent, is to be this sort of old school version of masculinity. Old school, possibly outdated, but
So you're the dog that leads these pups.
undeniably a sort of fun.
The vultures will pick your bones. Take that!
Oh man, I'm not very good. Damn it! There must be a way to avoid this guy's strikes. Maybe I haven't been talking all the way through the tutorial. I hear you cry. Come on. Oh! Right, okay. Let's take this shit seriously. Beautiful watercolour painting again. Off we go. Come on. Okay. There we go. There we go.
Please help me! You saved me.
Oh dear.
Pirate camp.
I might not play this with my wife around. She might get a bit annoyed. Ah, come on.
Leave your skull to the teeth.
Cleave your skull to the teeth, he says. Now, one thing that's quite cool is you can pick up the second weapon and then you can actually throw it away at someone, which makes it feel quite, in the flow of combat, actually quite good. There's a couple of times a bit later on in the game where I've had great fun just picking up and fighting for a bit and then lobbing a weapon away.
That leads these pups. The vultures will pick your bones.
Oh, come on. That's it. So use the right stick to sort of roll and evade attacks, which is quite handy. There we go. Ah, bollocks. But you can't evade when you're in that sort of being hit animation, which is kind of frustrating. Come on. Damn it. Ah! Okay, one more go. Okay.
You'll die on this island.
No, you will die on this island.
So you're the dog that leads these pups.
Damn it.
The vultures will
Good girl, Donkey Kong on you. Take the barrel, take the barrel. Ah. Ah. Get more life. And roll away. Must be a way to effectively break his block. It must. Ah! Damn it! Come on. That's it, that's it. Trying my best not to stick my tongue out, you know. Concentrating. Ah! Just fucking die! Yes! 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 I'm barbarian! I take your sword! Your oversized, ridiculous sword. I'll drink wine to celebrate. Yes! Damn right! Yes! Well, folks, shall we leave it there? This game is quite a lot of fun. It's thematic, and it's as I say, in many ways a bit of a love letter to fans, I guess, of the summation of Conan. So if you like the stories, if you like the art behind the stories, and if you also like the films, this has a bit of everything for you. It's not the deepest or the best game. It's not the most politically correct game. It still feels a little bit clunky, even though I've been playing this now for a couple of days and enjoying it. But if you want a Conan experience, there's at the moment at least, there's not much better than this. So there you go. You can do a lot worse than giving this game a go. I picked this up again for a couple of pounds a few days ago, and it's well worth a couple of pounds, definitely. Anyway, guys, as ever, until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.